Alright, hello everybody. So before the news video actually starts, there is an observation that I would like to point out as a preemption. This is recorded after I actually recorded this news video. If you take a look at the leaked image of Kopaka and Mellum Unity set, and you look at the text description at the bottom of the page, look on the second line of the success factors column, second bullet point that is. Strong media support through Netflix and other channels helps engage and inspire boys. Now, I don't want to jump the gun, but I think that is a strong hint towards some kind of possible BIONICLE show, or at least something that will be airing on Netflix, and I can't possibly imagine they would air commercials on Netflix. So either the animations will be on Netflix or something else will be on Netflix. But regardless, that's a strange development. And I just wanted to get that out of the way before I actually start the news video. So, enjoy my description of the 2016 sets. Hello everybody, I'm Meso, and welcome to some exciting BIONICLE 2016 news. My purpose here today, I'm going to break down the newly released BIONICLE 2016 decently high quality images that we have received from somebody, an anonymous source, I believe on 4chan, could be wrong. These pictures show off these sets in pretty great detail, although not all of them are crystal clear. A couple of them are still pretty blurry and hard to make out, but for now we will make do with what we have. I'm going to rattle off a list of things that I myself have noticed, because we are not actually going to be releasing a podcast this week, as we had to postpone the usual recording session to record the first episode of our upcoming RPG, Kingdom Come. So, you will see the next podcast episode on Vessel on Monday, September 28th, where we will be discussing these sets in pretty excruciating detail. But until then, here we go. So, all the pictures will be linked in the description below. There's a nice handy imager gallery on Reddit you can check out. Let's get to it. Couple things that I've noticed from looking at these sets. I'm going to start from the top, left side of the catalog, work my way to the right. Onua has a custom torso. Like, straight up, he does. You can see he uses Glatorian necks, or some variation thereof, to attach his arms. His shoulder pads attach, interestingly. He has a gear you can see on his lower back. So they've moved the positioning of the gears, but gears are still present. So that's interesting. Not sure as to how that's going to work. It kind of points towards a redesigned torso, if you ask my opinion, or at least this, yields the fact that he has an entirely custom one. Because otherwise, how would they be able to get the gear function to work like that? Don't know. We'll have to see. But gears are back on at least some of the sets. Onua's cool though. I really like him. Tahu, however, I will be honest, he does look to have more of interest to him than I had initially assumed. His weapons actually have some kind of Technic function, if you can believe it. There's a gear on his weapon, along with several kinds of Technic beams that will likely, cause the weapon to do something. I don't know what it could possibly do, but, that's cool. Hard to tell if he has a custom torso or not. He does have Bow-Rock eyes that attach to the side of the torso, so he could certainly have something. Don't really know. Skull Grinder armor in gold. I don't know why we always call it Skull Grinder armor. It's just the skull armor. Skull Grinder did not use it specifically. So Tahu looks cool. Terak, Creature of Earth. Pretty straightforward. It is of note, I guess I should mention this right now. Terak and Tahu actually have a new shell piece. Now this is significant, because we have not gotten a new shell piece in I don't know how long. It's been years. Not counting torso armor, of course. But the same basic CCBS armor pieces that clip on via ball joints have been reused and recolored pretty much ever since its inception. All of the different sizes were mostly available in Wave 1 of CCBS back in 2011. Could be wrong on that, I don't think so though. Again, aside from torso shells. So this new piece, you can see it on Tahu's upper legs, and also on all the creatures' chests as their chest armor. It's a CCBS shell. It appears to attach via ball joint, but it has Technic holes, Technic pins on both the sides and the front. So this is pretty incredible. It is LEGO's continued efforts to merge Technic with CCBS in new and inventive ways. And personally, I welcome it. I love the double pin attachment. It works for a lot of things, but it's good to have some options for the more classic style of system if you so choose to use it. Additionally, we get some better looks at the bear trap-esque creatures that all the, well, creatures come with. And then what I love about them is they're not like skull spiders, where they were just the same thing recolored. They all look different. They all have different colored eyes. They all have different styled legs. So they all have some kind of personality to them. Terrax in specific is kind of boring, I'll admit. But Ikir's is much more interesting. And also, finally, Terrax uses a heck of a lot of transparent purple, including what appears to be, if I had to guess, transparent purple armor on the top of his arms, transparent purple lower limbs in that certain smaller piece on his upper legs, and hopefully transparent purple versions of the Skull Grinder horns as his horns. I think that's what that piece is. Could be wrong on that, though. It's probably just part of the head. That's probably just wishful thinking. Ikir is a phoenix, straight and simple, or some kind of bird. He honestly doesn't really interest me that much, although it must be said, he has a very custom-looking build, so credit where credit is due. Cannot exactly fault him for that. He just doesn't personally grip my interest all that much, but I suppose we'll have to wait and see. Moving along, we've got Akita, Creature of Water, which you can honestly see the best on this page, and the other page, kind of blurry. It's a fish of some kind, again, a little hard to tell due to the angle of the photos. It does have a stud shooter of some kind, or a flick fire missile, and it does reuse the Mystica fin armor, the angled piece from 2008 in blue. So that's a nice callback. G1 pieces are making a return in full force this go round, as we will see in a bit. So, you know, happy with that. Very happy indeed. Again, a little hard to tell anything else though, so we'll just move on. Golly! Still a little blurry, still a little hard to make out details, and honestly, still kind of unimpressed, if I had to say. Honestly. Very little of this Golly looks like she is any better than her 2015 variant. She's asymmetrical, random orange Vorox armor, which again, G1 returns, woohoo. Weird looking mask. I'm not sold on this set. I'm sorry, just not buying it. Well, not that I'm not buying it, I'm just not, figuratively buying it. The one benefit I will say is that she probably will not have an issue posing as her 2015 variant did, because her weapon isn't so ridiculously big, and that did bother me with 2015, so, again, credit where credit is due, I suppose. Liwa! Looks cool, he's Liwa. He's got different color scheme, almost radically so, with a reduction completely of his Keat orange, and he has specks of transparent or green sprinkled throughout there. I'm stuttering my words, can't even speak properly. Silver Vorox armor on his shoulders, that's nice. Cool looking mask, weird weapon construction that will probably cause him to spin around a lot, frustratingly. And finally, the weirdest thing in his entire design, I cannot for the life of me understand why this was done. If you look at his lower legs, specifically his knees, you will see that they attach via a socket. And then the Vorox armor plugs into that socket with an axle, and then his lower leg is attached to the Vorox armor through the open pinholes. Now I gotta say, that's very unique, and I kinda like it, that it's gonna cause his knee to be pointed out at an angle because it's a socket piece. It's not flush like a regular knee. So he almost is gonna have to have his legs slightly bent in order to obtain that perfectly straight look, otherwise it's gonna look a little odd. But, originality is great. I applaud them for trying to do something cool, and not just cookie cutter CCBS. Pohatu coming in, he's looking very symmetrical, very cool, a little more bulky than his 2015 variant, a little less generic. He's got a lot of cool stuff going on, although it's kind of hard to see the intricacies of his design. If I had to wager, I'd almost guess that maybe he has a custom torso as well. In fact, maybe all of them do, although that's probably wishful thinking. I can see a lot of complex stuff going on from what little we can see of his torso and his upper arms specifically, but it must be kept in mind these three are still $15, so it's unlikely that they have anything interesting. He looks cool for what he is, though. He's got a boulder on a chain. He's got, again, the silver scrawled Warrock's armor. So, yeah, I like him. And I'll say straight up, I like him better than his 2015 variant. So, hooray for progress. On to creatures. We've got Uxar, creature of jungle, and he's some kind of insect. I don't know what he really is. He looks cool. He's got transparent green sprinkled throughout. Again, unique creature with like the vine piece as legs. I like him. Not much to say. I like him. I'll probably get him. And lastly, Kitar, creature of stone. This guy looks pretty cool. He's got that lost leg spike piece in brown. Scorpion bear trap, which is funny. A lot of cool looking pieces. If I had to wager, I'd almost say he has the scrawl armor in dark tan near the back of his tail, but I'm hesitant to make a claim like that in case it doesn't turn out to be true. Overall, these creatures are pretty awesome, and I think they may end up being even better than the Protectors, because the Protectors were the best small sets we've ever received, in my opinion. But they were kind of clone sets, with the exception of two. I wouldn't say they were necessarily full-on clone sets, but you know what I mean, right? They were all humanoid. They all shared the basic CCBS kind of infrastructure. They all had stud shooters as their main gimmick. You know, they had personality to them. They had unique builds, like with Narmoto and Korgo, but they were still kind of basically in the same realm. These sets are all completely different, and they're all built completely differently. And they all are based on a unique concept, and I think they all pull off that look very nicely. However, you know, they're not all great. That brings us to our next one, Kopaka and Mellum Unity set. And the reason I say they're not all great is because if you look down in the bottom there, you can see the disassembled version of the combo model, and you can see Kopaka and Mellum individually. And Mellum looks like a recolored Tarak. Like, literally, I'm not messing around, I'm not joking. He looks like Tarak recolored, which is very, very questionable to me. However, you know, I guess it's fine when all's said and done. You know, at first I was not too impressed with Kopaka. Based on the sketch that CM4Sci did, I thought he looked kind of stupid, kind of generic, and did not have as much personality as his 2015 variant. But I'm looking at him here. He also has a custom torso of some kind, if you can believe it. It's kind of crazy how this is going to happen, but you can clearly see a lot of custom stuff going on his shoulders, unless that's just, you know, maybe Tarak has, I mean, maybe Mellum has that, and that's just plugging in to cause that look. I don't know. But you can also see his upper arms are Glotorian necks, which kind of goes into that premise. I don't think that would just be Tarak's and Mellum's influence. So, while the set itself may not have as much striking visual representation as Kopaka of 2015 did, I think that there may be some stuff behind the scenes that we've yet to see that will make this set very impressive in everybody's eyes. And also, he has that new shell piece on his lower legs, and you can get a better look at what exactly it's all about. It may not be connected via ball joint after all. They may use, as you can see, it may just plug into the front of the torso and not actually be locked in place, and then you hook something around the back end to plug in via axle and pin connections, and that may lock it in place. So, you know, they're trying new things. I like this, and I'm looking forward to getting my hands on some of these parts in real life. And then lastly, save the best for last, in my opinion, you got Umarak the Hunter. $20 set, but man, this guy looks like a great figure. I had my fears, as those of you who listen to the TTV podcast will know, that BIONICLE was just going to go this route of having cliche villains with black and red color schemes, and they're super evil and spooky, you know, but this guy, he's very unique looking. He's got a unique color scheme. He's got some unique elements to his design. He's not perfect, okay? He's got some flaws, but I appreciate him trying something unique, and I think he has a very cool looking silhouette that will set him apart from other villains that BIONICLE has had thus far. And also, you can see a good shot at the boxes in this image, including the Mask of Control, I guess, question mark, in the upper right corner. And I have to say, if there was one thing I was disappointed in, it would be the Mask of Control, because it has been changed from its TV show design. Not TV show, animation design. And I will be honest when I say I do not personally like it as much. I preferred the look it had in the animations. But, you know what, it's still pretty cool. Oh, and you can see that regular Kopaka has what appears to be white... You can see that regular Kopaka has what appears to be white Vorox and Skrull armor on his shoulders. So man, we are getting a ton of recolors of that piece here. It's great. So honestly, that is pretty much all for the 2016 Bionicle sets. We have now seen every set. It's pretty awesome. I think the Wave is a mixed bag in some aspects as far as being better than the 2015 set. Oh, and also one more observation before I move on to recaps. Umrak also has a gear on his lower back, so nice. Gears are confirmed to return. So anyway, yeah, I'm not sure as to whether these sets are better than their 2015 counterparts, but no matter what, you know, we'll settle that bridge, cross that bridge when we come to it later on. I think these sets stand on their own very nicely. I think the Wave has a lot of cool and interesting elements, a lot of new cool pieces, a lot of new design risks they're taking, and I look forward to seeing how it all translates to the sets when we get our hands on them in December. That's pretty much all. Look forward to a more hefty discussion of these sets on the next episode of the TTV Podcast, coming to Vessel for free on Monday, September 28th, 2015, and I will see you all next time for some more exciting Bionicle 2016 news. Be sure to leave your own thoughts on the 2016 sets on the TTV Message Boards at board.ttvpodcast.com, and I will talk to you later. Farewell.